All right, Math 1. Before you go ahead and do this assignment, what I would do is attempt the problem and come back and check your solution with the explanation. In the first one, the first thing you have to remember is when you name an array, you have to use the endpoint. And when you use the endpoint, right, you're going to start with D, and what does it go through? G. And remember, you have to use a symbol with one arrow on the end. The other one would be DE. So no matter what, you have to start with the endpoint and then choose a point the ray goes through. Okay. The next one. Name the shortest segment. Well, that's 12, that's 15, so the shortest segment is segment AC. The longest piece that makes up this segment would be segment BC. Now you could use CB also, doesn't matter. And what is the length of AB? Well, I'm just going to add those two together to get 27. Number 3, use a diagram to answer the question, right? So name the segment in the diagram. When I look at this, it starts here and goes all the way here and stops there. So NJ would be the segment in the diagram. If I look at the ray starts with N and goes through H, and NH would be the ray. Number 4, how can I name this line 3 different ways? Well, the first way is just use the 2 points with the double arrows up top. I can flip those points, FR, and then I could use this lowercase italicized letter, line M. Okay, that's 3 different ways to name that line. So here, you're given AB is 26 units long, right? BC is 16. So what you have to understand is if this whole segment is 26 units, right? Where I see the overlapping is what I have to subtract, right? So the length of AC would be 26 minus 16, which is 10. In this diagram, name the midpoint. Well, midpoint is going to help create 2 congruent segments. So if I look, this marking and this marking make it 2 congruent segments. So the midpoint would be D, point D. Because I know BD is congruent to DC or CD, it doesn't matter. Now if I look, segment AF plus what equals segment AC? If I look here, AF plus FC will give me that whole segment. Letter D, if I had to find the measure of AB, right? If I look, AB is here. I'm just going to take AE and EB, add them together. 12 plus 4 would be 16. And if AF is 5 and AC is 14, find the measure of FC. That would just be 14 minus 5, because if you notice, these overlap here. So that whole thing is 14. This piece is 5. If I take that off, I'm left with the rest, which is going to be 14 minus 5, which is 9. For number 7, so for number 7, right, if you notice, RS, you have to notice that RS plus ST has to add up to 18. So if RS and ST add up to 18, I'm going to say X plus 2X minus 15 equals 18. So 3X minus 15 equals 18. I'm going to go ahead and solve this. And X is equal to 11. Now if X is equal to 11, what you have to notice is RS is equal to X, which is just 11. Now there's 2 ways I can find ST. I can either plug X in, or if I do, 18 minus 11, right? Because if this segment's 11, 18 minus 11 is 7. Okay, if I plug it in, 2 times 11 minus 15, give me 22 minus 15, which is 7. Next one, if I look, JK is equal to 8. So this segment here is 8 units long. So right away that tells me my setup to find x is x minus 3 is equal to 8. If I solve it, x is equal to 11. Now right away JK, you know, is 8 already. KL would be 2 times 11 minus 16, which would be 22 minus 16, which is 6 units long. Okay, now number 9, if C is the midpoint of AB, right away you can mark these congruent, right? If AB is equal to 42, you know AC and BC is just going to be half of that. So 42 divided by 2 is 21 and 21. Okay, number 10, R is the midpoint of QS. Well, right away, mark these congruent. What do I know about these measures then? They're basically equal. So 2x minus 12 equals 10. And now I can add 12 to both sides. 2x equals 22. X is 11. Okay. Now the next one. Determine if C is the midpoint of BD. Well, a lot of people are going to rush to set these equal to each other. But the only thing you can assume by the diagram, right, are these will add up to 20. So I have to use that idea. So when I combine like terms, 3x and then minus 1 equals 20. Add 1, 3x equals 21. Divide by 3, x is equal to 7. Now the idea is I used something I know from the diagram is 100% true to find x. Now when I plug it in, 3 plus 7 gives me 10. 2 times 7 minus 4 gives me 10. Are these congruent? Yes. So C is the midpoint. Now in the next one, right, same thing. I can only use what I know is true about this diagram. So I know that these two pieces add up to 22. So when I solve for x, right, I would go ahead, 4x equals 48. When I divide by 4, x is equal to 12. Right now, when I plug that back in, 2 times 12 minus 12, that's going to give me 24 minus 12, which is 12. But here, 2 times 12 minus 14 is going to give me 8. Are these pieces congruent? No. So I is not the midpoint. Okay, number 13. It's kind of a tough problem, but always fill in what you know. Right away, I know I can find KL because 12 minus 9 would give me 3. So right away then, I know the length of this segment is basically this. So what could I use? I could use the fact that x plus 5 plus 3 adds up to 3x minus 2. So x plus 8 equals 3x minus 2. Subtract 3x, subtract 8. I would get negative 2x equals negative 10. Divide by negative 2, and x is equal to 5. Okay. Number 14. Again, fill in what you know. Right away, if this whole segment is 29, right? 29 minus 21, right? If I look, this segment and this segment overlap to here. So 29 minus 21 would give me 8. And right away, 8 plus x plus 3, right? These two segments I know have a length of 2x plus 5. And right away, x plus 11 equals 2x plus 5. Subtract 2x, subtract 11, negative x equals negative 6. Divide by negative 1, and x is equal to positive 6. Okay, FE bisects AB at point C, right? So if FE bisects AB, that means these two segments are congruent because I bisected AB. So I know those segments are congruent. So now I can go ahead, solve for x. 3x equals 15. X equals 5. Now to find FE, I'm going to plug x in here. 3 times 5 plus 1 is 16. 5 plus 5 is 10. So 16 plus 10 would give me 26 units long. And number 16, right? D is the midpoint of AC. So right away, as soon as I see D is the midpoint of AC, I'm going to mark these two segments congruent to each other, right? So to find x, I'm just going to take 7x minus 3, set it equal to 4x plus 9. Subtract 4x, add 3. 3x equals 12. X equals 4. Now, to find y, if I look at y here, right, they tell me, so right here they tell us BC is 21. So if this segment is 21 units, I know BF and FC will add up to 21. So 2y plus 3 plus 3y plus 3 equals 21. So right away, combine like terms. 5y plus 6 equals 21. Subtract 6. 5y equals 15. And y is equal to 3. Okay. Now, right away to find z. If you look at the diagram, these double tick marks tell me those are congruent. And if they're congruent, I set their measures equal to each other. Right? So that would give me z is equal to 2. Okay. Now to find AB, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug x into this first one. So 4 plus 2 would give me 6. I'm going to plug y into this one, which is going to give me 12 minus 3, which is 9. So right away, AB is just going to be 6 plus 9, which is 15. All right, BC we already know is 21. Then if I look at AC, I'm just going to plug x in here twice. 7 times 6 minus 3, 42 minus 3 is 39. Right, this would be 4 times 6 plus 9, 24 plus 9 is 33. So 33 plus 39 is going to give you 72. So now the perimeter would just be 21 plus 15 plus 72, which gives, and that will give you a perimeter of 108. Okay. Number 17. Right away, they tell you AD is 12 and AC, right, is 4y minus 36. Well, they want you to find the value of y. Well, if that's 12, this is 12. So right away we know, right, that AC is equal to 4y minus 36. but what is the exact measurement? So I could take 4y minus 36, and 12 plus 12 would be 24. So set it equal to 24. I'm going to add 36. 4y equals 60. Y equals 15. Okay. Letter B, ED, right, is x plus 4. Right, DB is 3x minus 8. What do I know about those? Those two tick marks tell me they're congruent. So 3x minus 8 equals x plus 4. I'm going to subtract x, add 8. 2x equals 12. Divide by 2. X equals 6. So now DE would be 6 plus 4, which is 10. DB would be 10. And EB would be 20. And the last challenge problem here. Write an expression for the length of GK. Well, what you have to understand is these two overlap here. So I know to find GH, I'm going to do 2x plus 3. I'm going to subtract that x, and if I simplify that, 2x minus x gives me x plus 3. Now 4x minus 3, which is HK, overlaps at HJ. So to find this segment, you would do 4x minus 3, and then you're going to subtract that x, which is going to give you 3x minus 3. So now the expression for that would just be x plus 3 plus x plus 3x minus 3. So GK would be 5x, and that's it. So if GK is 30, what are the lengths of GH and all that? Right, so if GK is 30, if 5x equals 30, you know x is 6. So GH would be 6 plus 3, which is 9. And JK would be 3 times 6 minus 3, which would give you 15.